Alright, I'm back with One Piece chapter 1175. Just came out end of last week and I've read it and I will be reviewing it. So if you haven't read it yet, here's your cue to leave and read it and come back. Alright. Chapter 1175, we start off with a shot of Sanji freeing Robin, using Ifrit Chambe, his fire leg, to burn off the thorns. Very surgically, he's very careful to not hurt Robin while doing so. And Jinbe is like, oh, so those thorns are weak to fire, I guess. So that's useful. Which furthermore speaks for the matchup of Sanji versus Saint Summers. But Saint Summers has something happening to him later in this chapter I will be going into. But Robin is like, hey, we have no time to rest, there's still stuff to do, we can't rest. And I kind of want Robin to go to the library instead of any fighting, really, like direct fighting. Maybe I do want Robin to do some fighting, but to be honest, with the matchups we have currently right now, I would find it more suitable for Robin to just go for the library, to just go save the books, because we already have the children saved and everything, and they don't know that. This group doesn't know that the children are safe, so there's still gonna be people going for that. But we have enough people here to split up and go for several objectives, right? So we can have like Jinbe and Robin, Jinbe the firefighter, go and save the books, save knowledge. And yeah, so that would be one thing. And then we can have Sanji, Nami and the rest of the group go for the children, for the village, for the general fighting. Yeah, so there's that. But we don't really get more out of the group in this chapter. What we do get is Loki and Luffy arriving at West Village, Ost Village. And Loki is just telling the children and parents to get off his back. He flew them up here. He's done with them. And there's some other giant telling Loki like, hey, it's not safe here. It's not the best place to load off the children. And Loki's like, this is not my problem. I am just offloading people that got onto my back. I don't want to have to do anything with that. This is not my deal. And in the meantime, Luffy sees like Zoro down there and is like, hey, Zoro, yay, I'm here. And Zoro's like, hey, it took your time. But now that you guys are all giant and everything, and this is the dragon Loki, by the way, is it? And Luffy's like, yeah, that's Loki, yeah. He's cool, right? I'm riding a big dragon, yeah. So Zoro is like, yeah, can you take care of those nightmare creatures before all of Elbaf is destroyed? Like, you guys are giant, you should be able to do that, right? And Luffy's like, yeah, of course we can do that. It's fine. And yeah, with Zoro being here at the village is safe. He's like, yeah, okay, offloading children is not bad because Zoro is here, so everything is safe. Yeah, we'll see about that. And during all that, there's like thorns raining down from the sky, and some giants are getting hit, and they're like, hey, get the kids inside, save them, protect them, have them be safe. There's thorns raining from the sky. And we have Saint Summers riding in on his two giant thorn snakes, whatever they are. However, he creates those with his swan devil fruit, but I find it, I can't really complain, because it's kind of cool to have some creative liberties with devil fruits like that. That's why the Paramecia class exists in the first place, because yeah, elements make sense, yeah, animals kind of make sense, except if it's dinosaurs that can fly for some reason. But yeah, now we want some creative liberties, so let's not be too stingy about that. Okay, he's riding in on the snakes, And he's like, so the children are still alive, man. Give me back my memories, my enjoyment I had when I thought the children died and plummeted to their death. Give me that back. But all right, I guess that's good for me actually. I can still complete my mission. We can still get the kids out of Elbaf. This is all works for me. But first, I'm gonna kill those parents that are bleeding out right there off now. And as he says that he readies basically 2 guns outside of the mouth of those thorn snakes. So they have like guns that can shoot thorns out of them. It is ridiculous, man. This ability is kinda, I love it, man. I really love it. And he readies those guns, and the children are like, nah. It's our time to protect our parents. The children all step in front of their parents and are like, we won't let you shoot them. And they're basically protecting their parents with their bodies, and the parents are like, hey kids, no, don't do this, get down. But the kids are like, nope, we are brave warriors of Elbaf, we're gonna protect you, parents. And Summers is like, oh, this is great. These stupid kids, now they're gonna die. He's so happy about it, man. This guy is getting a walloping, and he's deserving of it, man. He is deserving of it. So he shoots, and no surprise, Zoro is just jumping in front of the children, deflecting all of the thorns. No one gets hit at all. And Summers is like, who was that? Who dares? And booming out behind him, it's the voice of Luffy. And he's like, that was Zoro. He's part of my crew. Remember his name, will ya? Like, he's one of the big guys, man. And we have a panel of Luffy coming towards Summers, and Summers is like, oof, oh no, I fucked up. It is very similar to what we had in Wano, where Luffy grabbed the lightning. So I guess Loki made lightning because he as a black dragon can spit lightning, and Luffy grabbed that because in Gear 5 he can grab things that he really shouldn't be able to grab, but it's like all according to his imagination. So if he can imagine it, basically he can do it, right? That's kind of how Gear 5 works, how the Nika fruit works now. It's established. And he preps an attack with his giant form, his giant fist. It's booming dawn Thor rifle. And like the Gum pistol, the Gum pistol version is basically a normal punch with a stretched fist. And the rifle version is when he twists his arm like a bunch. And basically have this twist, and when he impacts his enemy, the twist puts more force into the punch itself. So his arm is giant, all twisted up and infused with Loki's lightning. And with that, he hits Summers front on. And to mention that, he also takes his hand and like aims at it. And it actually creates a sniper scope. It's visible. It is there. He created another instance of Luffy creating something out of nothing. Just imagining something. Imagine I have a scope here. I'm aiming at you. And he has a scope. And he's locking onto Summers' head. And then the big fist comes down, pinpoint precision at Summers' head. And it is devastating. It is brutal. Like, if he wasn't a God's Knight, this would be certain death. This would be 200% Luffy just killed a man if he wasn't a God's Knight. With the regeneration power, I do think Summers survives this. I do think so. But someone without regeneration power, someone that is not a God's Knight and gets hit with that attack is dead. Like, we have Summers and we have a panel of him getting hit and his head is disintegrating. The force of the hit with the electricity and everything together is so powerful. There's a piece of his head just disintegrating here. Man. Alright, and he is down for the count, but right before he basically passes out right there, because he might be passed out after this attack for a hot minute or not. We see in the next few chapters, okay? We're gonna see about that. But I kinda would like him to be like out of it for at least like 1 or 2 chapters, because this attack, man. If he's just straight up again, I don't know what to do about the God's Knights. No, but we have Gaban's wife here stating like, finally I get to see Luffy in his all white form, in his sneaker form. And like the last word we hear Summers utter is like Ripley. I always forget Gaban's wife's name, Ripley, stating like, oh, I finally see Luffy's all white form. But yeah, last words of Summers are basically like, oh, Nika, that's just a children's tale, while he's like absolutely KO'd. It's like, oh, Nika, don't be silly, that's just a tale to scare children. Oh. And he's out for the count, man. And with that, we have, with Summers passing out, we have the Zorns basically disintegrating around the children. We have like a kid there, and it's like, oh, the Zorns, they're disappearing. And it's like, yeah, okay, Summers is basically knocked out, either completely knocked out or doesn't have the energy anymore to concentrate on the Zorns to maintain his power. So the Zorns are gone. So if Sanji actually waited 1 chapter here, he didn't need to free Robin. If he waited for like the end of the chapter, he wouldn't have needed to free Robin. But I still think Summers is going to come back, and I still think we get a good old-fashioned Sanji walloping Summers. Because Summers is so despicable. Oda made him so despicable. Such a nasty guy. I think we have to knock him out several times in this arc. Summers gonna be the punching bag, and I'm gonna enjoy him being a punching bag. Like this asshole. This asshole deserves it. And he has it coming from Sanji with his foot just on fire, disintegrating his Zorns with the fire of love. Because remember, Summers' Zorns power is kinda like, yeah, the more you love someone, the more the Zorns hurt you. And Sanji's powers are about love, but in a different way, about passion and actual love. Like, Summers doesn't understand love really. Summers doesn't get the feeling of love. Like, he thinks like love is like seeing people suffer. He's like, oh, I'm happy when I see people suffer. This is love for me. But in reality, love is something else. So Summers Sanji has to happen. It's gonna happen because Summers is a God's Knight. He's gonna regenerate, and even though he's a sniveling idiot, he's gonna come back, try something again, and get his ass kicked again. Alright, and after that we have Loki. Loki showing the full force of his dragon power with his lightning breath, because his breath power is lightning, not normal fire, it's lightning. Just blasting apart the Mumas, blasting apart the nightmare creatures and disintegrating them. And this is basically the end of the chapter, but we have one more thing here. And that is explanation. First off, we have the explanation of Loki's Devil Fruit. We have basically a small backflash to back where, because we have Gaban sitting on a tree branch with Chopper, and Chopper's like, is that Loki? Is that his Devil Fruit? And Gaban is like, yep, that's Loki, but it's the first time I see him in this full form like that as well. Like I've never seen him in his full form. And we have a small backflash to back in the castle with Yarul and Shanks and Gaban. And Yarul explaining the devil fruit to everyone and revealing the full name of the devil fruit. We don't have like a out of canon text box just revealing it to us, the readers. No, we have it revealed in a backflash in a text bubble. Normally, it's the dragon fruit model Nidhogger. So, after 3 wrong guesses, I finally landed on the right guess for what Loki's devil fruit is after seeing its full form right in front of me. There were some other people theorizing a different dragon to be Loki's fruit, but no, it's the Nidhogger. It is that dragon gnawing on the world tree, trying to destroy the world, trying to be set free and to destroy the world. And there's another story connected with the devil fruit. So for once, Yarul explains in the backflash to us that the dragon fruit scales with however the size of its users. So the bigger the user, the bigger the dragon becomes. So that is very interesting. It's like we have had like different devil fruits, like the mammoth devil fruit, and I always assumed like, okay, yeah, so if a human eats the mammoth devil fruit or a giant eats the mammoth devil fruit, that makes no difference, right? They just, if they are in the full form, they turn into a mammoth. Maybe if they're in a hybrid form, the actual size of the user matters, because then I'm just taking like elements of the animal. But if I'm in the full form, the size of the devil fruit is set. That's what I always assumed. But that might just not be the case. We might just, if a giant ate like the leopard devil fruit, the one Lucci has, we might just have a giant leopard at that point. Like, is that something that works for all devil fruits, or is it specific about this devil fruit? Because the way Yarul phrases it is that it is indeed specific to this devil fruit, so it might still actually be like I thought it works, but for this devil fruit it doesn't work like that. This devil fruit is a special devil fruit. It's a mythical devil fruit, maybe. That's why it is like that. It is special. So either all devil fruits work like that, or only this one works like that. None matter. What he says is, the bigger you are, the bigger the dragon gets. So if an ancient giant, who are the biggest giants, eats the devil fruit, it gets more powerful. And we know Loki is of ancient giant blood. He is absolutely massive. He's like the biggest giant we have in the series. And he ate this devil fruit. And his devil fruit form is massive. And that's why he is so massive. Because he's the biggest giant. And he ate the devil fruit. And the devil fruit scales with his original size. Alright. And then Yarul tells us something else. That there is like a legend about an ancient warrior that fought with a hammer and this devil fruit. But not only with a hammer, he fought with the hammer Ragnir, Thunder something. It was Ragnir, Thunder something. I don't remember. And at his side, he had his companion, the ice squirrel Ratatoska. So the ice squirrel and the hammer, back in that story, at least how it was told, those were two separate beings. But the giant died, and Ratatoska, basically the ice squirrel, became one with the weapon. The hammer Ragnir and Ratatoska became one. It's like Ratatoska went inside of the hammer to wait for his next owner. And Gaban is like asking us, oh, so no one ate this devil fruit because it's too dangerous, because it can be touched. And Gerald's like, no. No one ate the devil fruit because Ratatoska, Ragnir, wouldn't let anyone. And now, after all these hundreds of years, Ragnir finally decided the next user for the Devil Fruit is Loki. He decided that. So all these 100 of spheres, we knew this already. He protected the Devil Fruit, let no one eat it. Didn't deem anyone worthy, one might say. Alright, so there's that. And the other fact is that this ancient giant with the hammer Ragnir and Ratatoska, he fought against Nika. Now we have like the story of different Nikas from the giants. Like there's Nika the destroyer, then there's Nika the liberator, and Nika the trickster deity. So he might have fought against Nika the destroyer. That's why some giants fear Nika, because we had a giant that fought against evil Nika, maybe. Who knows? And like we know, the giants have been part of the D-Clan. Like Imo said so, that they are part of the D-Clan. So they were on Joyboy's side, I would assume, because I would assume the D-Clan is on Joyboy's side, the people that were on Joyboy's side. Yeah. So maybe that was actually the legend about the 1st century Nika. The very first, so we have the first world, the second world, which is the Void Century, and then the third world, in which we are right now. So we have the first world, there was a calamity, and something happened, we don't know. Then we had the second world, we have the Void Century. Stuff happened with the Ancient Kingdom and the world government. What exactly, we don't know yet. And now we have the third world. But okay, back in ancient times, this giant with this Devil Fruit was an enemy of Nika. And I'm saying this because we have here this Loki destroying all the Mumas, and while he's destroying the Mumas, we have Imo watching through Gunko's, Shuri's eyes. And Imo's like, so, this is where you were all these years. This is where you were, Nidhogger. And this is the last panel we have. Imo just watching this. And so this is the last panel we have here. Imo just watching this. And what concerns me about this is Imo sees Loki. Imo sees Loki's power. But it's not like back when like the Haki knot got unleashed and Imo was like trembling and anything. No. Imo is perfectly calm. Imo is not like, it's a few panels, so maybe I am interpreting this wrong, but I feel like Imo in this is confident. I feel like Imo's like, oh, this is where you were, Nidhogger. Well, this is nice. I found you. Haha. It's like, this is the vibes I'm getting from these panels. Imo in the body of Gunko, and I've been like advocating for Domi reversed Loki, something that has to happen, because Loki and Luffy together here, as we've seen in this chapter, Luffy just one-tapped a God's Knight. Zoro dealt with the Domi reversed giants, no problem. And I think Sanji can deal with like Summers as well, no problem. So either Imo is so broken that even though he's using the weak body of Gunko and Shuri, because I don't think Gunko Shuri is on the level of Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, I don't think she's there. Either Imo, with his extra powers, with his magical gun he pulled out of a book, is so powerful that he's like, oh, this is no problem. Or Imo knows he can't just take Loki for himself. He can just take the Nidhogger, his power for himself. He can either Domi reverse him or do something else concerning with the Nidhogger. Know something else concerning the Nidhogger that he's like, this is no threat to me. I'm fine. Like, we are in for something special either way in the next few chapters, man, because Summers is down for the count. We still have Killingham, but his power is mostly the Mumas, so far at least. Was mostly the Mumas, the nightmare creatures, okay? But we're dealing with those rather easily, even though Killingham can just pump them out again, but eventually he's gonna run out of stamina. Like, it's like lost powers. Like, okay, you can do this, but eventually you can't do this anymore because your stamina is out. So Killingham is gonna eventually be on the end of his rope because he's just keeps making nightmare creatures, and he might have more stamina than like a normal human because he's a God's Knight and because he got powers from Emo. Okay, maybe. But I think he's gonna run out eventually, and I don't think Killingham is this OP beast that is just gonna trump our power trio here. And yeah, I would like Killingham versus Usopp though. Like, that's a fight I want. Like, because that might actually be a fight. Killingham's gonna put up a fight versus Usopp for sure. So I would like Usopp to struggle against him instead of having like another one-shot like we had with Summers. Summers deserves the one-shot. I love the one-shot against Summers, but with Killingham I want a fight. And yeah, with Shuri, Gunko, Emo over here. One more thing to mention is Brook. Last time we saw Princess Shuri Gunko possessed by Emo, Brook was fighting them. And in this chapter, Princess Shuri Gunko is not fighting Brook anymore. And we don't get to see Brook in this chapter. So is he on the ground, just passed out? Is he bound in arrows again? Is he what happened to Brook? I guess we figure this out in the next few chapters. Yeah. But I will say, Emu has to show up. He has to. He's the big bad villain of the Void Century. And if he doesn't show up here, it would be devastating for the series. But with showing his demeanor of this chapter, I'm really certain he will. And it might be via Domirosi again, using Domirosi for the millionth time, okay. Might get kind of tiring, but I think he will have Domirosi and something else. Like, even if he is the Domirosi Loki, he's not gonna Domirosi Loki and be like, okay, I think this is done now. I Domirosi Loki, he's so powerful, I think I can leave here. No. Emu was working towards a goal here. He wanted the kids of the giants to be kidnapped, and if he doesn't reach this goal, he's not done. He can't leave. So I do think he will show more than just Domirosi, and I do think he will be devastating, to be honest. I don't think the kids are gonna get kidnapped at the end of the arc. I don't think this is how we end this arc, but I do think we end this arc with everyone basically passed out, exhausted, and absolutely done for. Like, we didn't have this after Egghead, because Egghead ended with the Haki knot and Luffy wasn't 100% done at that point yet. Like, Luffy could have come back and kept fighting. But they needed to run because the threat was too big and it was not worth it staying fighting anymore. So we had to run, but now we are in Elbaf, things are different, and we have to stand our ground because we have to protect Elbaf. We have to actually stay here, stand our ground. There's no running from this right now. So I do think we have Emu basically sent back at the end of this, maybe due to Shuri fighting back and getting her body back from Emu. I do think this is the likely show. I think Emu's gonna be devastating. It's gonna devastate the crew and devastate Luffy and everyone. and get Domi reversed Loki. We're gonna have Loki versus Luffy that way, because that's the only way we get Loki versus Luffy, and I really want Loki versus Luffy. And that's gonna cost all of the power of Luffy to even just knock Loki down and get him back out of Domi Reversi. And then after that we have still Imo here, still a very powerful foe here, and we somehow gonna get Shuri freed from Imo. We're gonna have Brook, we're gonna have the crew, we're gonna have everyone come together, and Shuri is gonna be liberated by maybe a Luffy that is on his last leg. But it's not like he was gonna beat Imo. It's like more like Luffy was gonna die to Imo. Luffy's gonna get wrecked by Imo. He's gonna be on his deathbed. It has to be bad, because he needs to realize how bad this threat is. Luffy's gonna almost die to this, I think. But we free Shuri, and Imo, who's not really here, he's only possessing Shuri's body. So Imo is not actually here, he's just like possessing. It's just a possession. He's basically getting sent back into his real body. And that's how we're gonna end. It's like not like we won against Imo, and Imo's not defeated, but he's sent back, sent out, sent away. And he would have beaten us. That's how it has to end, because man, we still got some growing to do for beating Imo, right? Can't do that right now. I do think so. And that's what I expect to happen. But yeah, that was the chapter. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.